Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing very, very well. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, thank you to all of my new subscribers. Thank you to all of my older subscribers, everybody who's commenting, liking my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. So today's reading is going to be just a general check-in for Divine Masculines, Divine Feminines, those of you who identify with a Divine Soulmate connection or a Twin Flame connection. So yeah, I think that's about all I had to say. So let's see, let's get into it and see what is going on. We're going to be looking at the masculine's energy, the feminine's energy, as well as what is coming up. I do feel that the energies right now are pretty intense. I had been talking about being tested, being triggered, being challenged through various areas of life, and I feel like that is continuing throughout August, so we'll see what's going to come through. Okay, so we're starting with the masculine's energy. Let's see. Let's get a general card to start off the reading for the masculines. Some resistance maybe. See, that I feel ready to come out. We'll see what that is. Vision. Let's see what else. Let's get one more. And wishing. Okay, so it looks like the masculines at the moment, they're visualizing a lot about the connection. They're visualizing their future, they're visualizing their divine feminine possibly being in that future, and there's a lot of wishing attached to that. Okay, so this could be even a form of manifesting. I'm not seeing the manifestation just yet, but I am seeing, you know, a couple of steps that are involved in manifestation. All right, so we'll see what else is going to come through. I actually want to get just a couple from this deck here as well. And then we'll get into the tarot. So let's see. What else is going on with the masculines? Yeah, and we do have Oliver here today to support the reading for however long he decides to sit here with us. So let's see. We got 4 actually. I wanted 3, but we got 4. Okay, we have soulmate, we have deception, we have dark night of the soul, and solitude. Okay, so yeah, like I said, definitely some intense energies going on, although I don't feel like this is, okay, sometimes the dark night of the soul can be in a way where it's really taking control over the person's life, where they feel like they're just in this deep dark hole, not being able to do anything, and they're just sitting there, while all of these shadows are coming up, and they just don't know how to handle them. I do not feel that this is the case at the moment for the masculines. Okay, this is a dark night of the soul that they do have a handle on, because they are able to wish and have vision. Okay, so they're not being as pessimistic or as in denial as they had been in the past. However, they are feeling alone here, regardless of whether they are in another commitment or another relationship or not. And of course, this comes as no surprise, right? They're still in a deception type of an energy, because, well, they're not with their soulmate. So we'll see. I do feel that this dark night of the soul is bringing up a lot concerning how they have been deceptive to this connection. But I just want to make clear that deception, okay, was part of the process. That is something that needs to actually happen in order for there to be this growth and for the lessons to be learned, both for the masculine as well as the feminine. Okay, this is not something that you should be resentful for. All right, if you feel like your person was abusive, and therefore you feel like you have that right to be to think that it was completely wrong, this might not be your reading. Okay, maybe it's not a divine connection. If it is, then there's a reason and a purpose for it. So let's get into it. Let's get into the tarot and see. So for the masculines, let me just give a quick shuffle. I will find a way to work around Oliver. I'm gonna have to. Okay. By the way, just because it's just like sitting in my head now what I said, just because I'm saying to not have that resentment, that doesn't mean to do the opposite. That doesn't mean that you should just sit around and be a doormat and allow unfair treatment, okay? Or, you know, it doesn't mean that you should compromise your self-respect or your integrity, okay? It just means having that higher perspective of the situation. All right, so let's see. What is the general energy here for the masculines? What is going on with the masculines? There's that Tower, very first card out. And it is in reverse. So for me, based on what I was saying before, I'm getting that the message here is that it's in reverse because it's what I was saying, that it's not going to be as dark. Other times I can see the Tower in reverse as being like a very, very intense and traumatic one. However, in this case, with everything else that came through, I'm seeing this as, yes, they're going through a major tower. It is definitely major, but it's one that they do have some sort of a control over, or that they are really learning their lessons here, okay? Like, it's kind of like, or it's like they're at this point where it's like, okay, it's going to be a very definitive time period right now. Like, they're either going to really take on these lessons and jump like 10 steps ahead, or they're going to stay stuck. So of course it can't be the same for everybody, but I feel like it's going to go one way or another, and that will happen like really quick, so you will probably know which one it is for you. And then we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You guys, okay, yeah, you can see them. Okay, and the Hermit. So we have Solitude and we have the Hermit here, as well as the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, I feel like they're actually really taking a break at the moment. I feel like they're really processing this Tower and kind of pulling back from putting in any effort into anything. It's actually them just really sitting with themselves and allowing these energies to surface, okay? So you might not be able to see them actually doing anything or putting in an effort, but really what's happening is that this break is needed. They actually need a pause in order for this Tower to really take effect here, okay? And it is throwing them in this Hermit mode. Or it also could be that for a lot of you, there may have been a more recent type of a separation if you were in contact, or pulling away, or this person has just been, your masculine has been distant. If you already have been in separation for a long time, this is them really getting quiet within their own self and just pulling away, I feel, from just their environment in general. All right, let's see. So this is what I feel is going on for them in their environment, in their life at the moment. Let's see what they're thinking or feeling towards their feminines. We have the Two of Swords. That Two of Swords. Let's see though, what else? The Ace of Swords in reverse. The Emperor and the Sun together. Okay, so yeah, they are, like I said, I feel like they're at a standstill, okay? I feel like this again is just basically what I just said. This is their general energy, and it's showing up here in their headspace towards their headspace and emotions towards their feminine, because, well, it's reflected on the connection as well, okay? This is them really not taking action at the moment. I feel like they are just really, again, sitting with themselves and really thinking. And I don't even think that it's them thinking specifically about what they're going to do here. I see them as just really reflecting on their life and on the fact that Ace of Swords in reverse, on the fact that they haven't been taking action. What does that mean? The fact that they haven't been living truthfully for themselves, what does that mean for them? Right? These are the questions that they are asking. And then we have the Emperor and the Sun. Okay, all of this, I feel, is really related to them wanting to be the emperor, them wanting to take charge, them wanting, and the emperor, you know, to me represents the counterpart of the divine feminine, right? The divine masculine. So this is them really wanting that happiness with the sun, really wanting to live in their truth and wanting that sunshine in their lives. Okay, so they are thinking about this, and this is how they're feeling, but I do want to get some more. Let's just get a little bit more. The Six of Swords, the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Three of Swords. Yeah, okay, so I asked for more, and then Spirit's like, here, take more of the same message then. So yeah, this is, again, they're pulling away. I feel like they're moving away from conflict, basically. Just, like I said, being very quiet within themselves, okay? That just keeps ringing in my ears. That they're just being quiet. They're moving away from anything that's loud, anything that is causing them to have conflict, because they just kind of want to be quiet at the moment, okay, for a lot of them here. There is a lot of pain as well. With the Three of Swords being here, they're feeling this pain for their feminines because they're not happy at the moment, and because they feel with this Page of Cups, they're either feeling sorry, like they need to apologize, they're feeling like there was something that they should have said that they didn't say, or something that they wanted to say that they never said. So let's see, what do we want to clarify here? Let's clarify the Two of Swords. Let's see, why is the Two of Swords here today? Because, I mean, it is a very typical card that we get for the masculines. But let's just see. The Seven of Wands. And the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so for a lot of them, it could be that they're involved in another relationship, although I do separate readings that are more specific to those who are involved in other relationships or marriages. So, but it can come through in the general reading as well. So this is possibly a connection that they're not happy with, one that is really just kind of deteriorating here, or another commitment, which could be even their jobs or something else, okay? But it almost feels like they're realizing here, right? This is what for whatever it is that they're thinking that they're the ones who have put up that block. They're the ones who have blocked out this connection with the feminine, okay? So it's like they do know that, as some of them may have blamed you, but deep down here, what they're realizing, or what they have already realized and just reflecting on, is the fact that, yeah, they did put a block here. And that's not to say that the feminines haven't put a block as well. Okay, that's a different story. But here it's like they are seeing their own accountability, okay, for this situation, whatever it is for you in each specific case. So let's I actually want to see this Page of Cups for the communication. We have the King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, it's what I'm getting here is that they either didn't have the opportunity, or they didn't have the courage to tell you something that they had wanted to tell you, okay? Or even at the moment, they're not telling you, they're not communicating with you because they're lacking that confidence, or it's just, for whatever reason, it could be scary to them, and they feel like they won't be able to handle whatever comes up after that. Clarify the Three of Swords. the Four of Wands and the Two of Wands. Huh. So they're in pain. They're in a lot of pain here because, again, with this Two of Wands, right? It's like they've been stuck at this crossroads. They've been stuck at thinking, you know, which way to go, what should they do, and really not coming to a conclusion. And the reason why it's painful is because they're seeing you as this Four of Wands energy, which is where they belong. They're seeing you as this is what would make them happy. This is where their foundation is. There's just something about this connection, and they know that, right? That is just so intense and just so familiar at the same time, which could be also something that scares some of them, or they just have other obstacles here. But they are in a lot of pain about that. Okay, which doesn't really come as a surprise, but it feels like this Tower is really forcing them to face that pain, and see, you know, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to stay at these crossroads? Or am I going to do something? Am I going to become the Emperor and go after my son? So, yeah, a really quiet time of having visions, having wishes, and processing some shadows. Like these shadows are coming up, the shadow aspects of themselves, but it's kind of like they are embracing them, okay, in a way. Like they are accepting of them rather than dwelling in guilt or denial or suppression, okay? That's what I'm getting here. And what's one of these issues that's really coming to the surface is that deception, okay? That deception that they have been creating or living in the soulmate connection. Okay, so before we get to the future, let's just take a look at what the feminines are currently going through. So what is going on? Oh, okay, with the feminines. Yeah, I'll just take that. Individuality. So the feminines have been on a very tough path of detaching themselves, of really finding their true self and feeling whole, right? Separate from this connection, which has not been easy. But I feel like they are in that energy, okay? Of feeling like they are abundant in and of themselves. I'm kind of seeing this card kind of like the Nine of Pentacles, all right, where you're really just finding your own abundance. Not saying that it's easy, not saying you're 100% there yet, but for a lot of you, you're really getting close to that, or just really moving forward with that. So that's what's important. And that has been a big part of your lesson too, is what I'm getting here for this group. To really find your true self independently of this connection. Like, who are you? You know, who are you really deep down? If this other person, your soulmate, didn't exist, you know, how would you identify yourself? And I feel like it is also a lot about removing the labels and not letting a label really run your life here, whether that be your life in general or whether that be your love life. Let's see, what else? What else for the femies, please? Ooh. Oops. Okay, well, we have grief, we have divine timing, and we have forgiveness. Okay, wow. That does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? You definitely have been through a lot of grief, and you might still be going through grief. You might be grieving this connection, especially if, you know, just because you are in this energy of feeling like you are your own person now, you are independent, you are detaching, that doesn't mean that you're not grieving. No, of course you're grieving because you feel like you're putting an end to something that you thought it was. Like, if you thought that you were, okay, for example, if you were codependent, all right, which most divine feminines are going to be codependent at some point, you have a different view of the connection, once you begin to detach, that's when you realize that it's not exactly what you thought it was. You're not the same person. And that can sometimes bring on this energy of grieving, like the way you would grieve if, you know, somebody you love passes away. It's kind of like grieving what this connection was, or not what it was, what you thought it was, or how you thought it was going to be, because it's not that. And what it is actually going to be something even more beautiful than what you thought, but it's not what you thought. It's completely different. And so that is going to bring on some grief, and that's okay. I feel like you are going to be able to get through that actually without as much difficulty as you had in the past. Okay. Divine timing, definitely also learning, you know, a lot about patience here. And what does patience really mean? It doesn't mean just waiting around for somebody to come through. It means being patient also with yourself through this process. And really being patient is putting it to the side and letting it come whenever it wants to, without you feeling this urgency or wanting to rush it. It means being patient without a means to an end. Don't be patient in order to bring it in quicker, because the divine feminines can think that, oh, okay, well, if I'm patient, you know, union will happen quicker. No, that's not the case. All right. And forgiveness. And this is all about, it's not just about forgiving your divine masculine. This is about also forgiving your own self for maybe the way you were allowing yourself to be treated in the past. All right. Forgiving yourself if you feel like you've wasted so many years of your life. No, they weren't wasted. You were learning. Okay. But you still have to forgive yourself for whatever it is that you're criticizing yourself for. So let's see. I actually feel like that was a lot that came through, so I'll probably keep it a little bit brief here with the tarot, and then get into the future. So let's see. What else do we need to know about the divine feminine, please? The Four of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords in reverse. Wow, a lot of reversals. Okay, the Six of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. All right, so the divine feminine is still healing. All right, and I do feel like actually what has happened is that you have healed a lot in the past, and now it's like, I feel like it's the next level of healing where you might be at a restless type of a state, or a restless type of a phase where you just feel something inside you, and it's just something it could even be waking you up at night, maybe not letting you sleep. You just feel like some kind of a restlessness, but it's not that you're not healing. It's not that you haven't healed. It's more like it's because you have healed, and it's almost as if it's excitement for this new individuality that you have found for yourself. And I feel like it's because you are learning these lessons, because then we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. Indicating that you are detaching. You are getting yourself untrapped from the codependency on this connection. All right. Some of you are still in that process, and some of you are, you know, really towards the end of that, I feel. Because we also have, again, the Six of Swords, really moving away from that old way of thinking, that old way of being, which was codependent. So let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune, which is in reverse. The Ace of Cups. Let's see what else. And the Empress in reverse. Let me get one more. Queen of Wands. Okay, so it's kind of like what you're seeing is that no matter how much you detach, even if you are finding your individuality, it's like you're seeing that this love doesn't change. That doesn't change the love that is here in this connection, in this bond. Like, even if you decide to just be like, you know what, I just don't even want this anymore, and you can do that because you do have free will, that love is still there. You're seeing that that is what is not changing here. So it's like there is change, but within that change there is also not change. Okay, and that's what's coming through here. Yeah, I feel like this is an energy that you might still be working towards, and for some of you it might be still a little bit of a resistance to change, especially when it comes to how much love you're going to show yourself, right? Really discovering that self-love and really becoming this, like stepping into this Queen of Wands energy and taking control of that. So it's interesting. This is a very interesting energy, actually. It's like there is change, right? But that love never dies. And for a lot of you, it's, you know, you might still be resisting a little bit of that change. Because it is new. Something new is going to be scary. But as soon as you can step into that Empress energy, and I do feel that you're working towards that, and you will get there, you know, the more you take care of your own self, all right, the easier it's all going to be for you. Because you are detaching. Okay, you know what? I think that's enough actually for the feminine. I feel like, yeah, less cards, but more information came through, so I'm gonna leave it at that actually. So let's see what is coming up. Coming up for the masculines, we have the Chariot, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so what I'm picking up on here is that this Tower moment is really driving them forward, all right? It's giving them that push, okay? That's how it's coming through. It's pushing them to ignite, right? To move towards something. But I feel like when they do that, it's kind of like a little bit like they don't really have control over the reins, with the Queen of Wands being in reverse. It might be a little bit premature, but I feel like it's kind of like they need to do that, kind of like a test drive. So I feel like they are going to, whatever it is that is their own block, right? And for each Divine Masculine, it's going to be something different, right? For some of them, like I said, it's a karmic partner. For some of them, it's a fear of commitment. It's just going to be different. They are all taking like a test drive away from their obstacle. But it's kind of like they're still feeling like they don't have much control. And it's kind of like they're going to be looking back to where they came from. Yeah, almost as if, you know, it wasn't 100% ripe yet, that action, okay, with the King of Pentacles being in reverse. So it's kind of like, this is, by the way, this is like, we're talking like 1 week, 2 weeks maximum here, okay? So don't get discouraged if you're still thinking about your masculine coming towards you. But I'm getting the sense though that for a lot of you, it's like you don't even care. You're just watching this video for curiosity purposes. Not that you don't care at all, but you're letting go. You're like, let them do what they want. All right, let me watch this video and see what's going on. And, you know, just from a very detached place. Okay, that's what I'm getting, at least for this group. So let's see what else. All right, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse, and we have the Two of Cups. Okay, yeah, see, so all of this really, it doesn't matter if they take that test drive and then just go back. So what? All right. If that's what needs to be done, that's what needs to be done. That's just what's going on, you know, coming up. I'm seeing this Queen of Pentacles as if, for those of you who are involved in karmic situations, okay? So this is them, yeah, moving away from that, like in one way or another, and it's going to be different for each of them, all right? But in one way or another, just moving away from that connection, and I feel like in that case, that's what this test drive is. Away from, all right? They're taking a test drive away from the karmic partner, but then they might actually realize that they weren't quite ready. Sorry guys, I have to say what I see. For those of you that might be disappointed, but we do have the Two of Cups, all right, and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So this is all, this Tower is really pushing them forward towards their happiness, towards this union with you, okay? That's what's going on in the overall picture, and they are releasing that burden, all right, which is whatever it is that they are holding on to. Now, this Queen of Pentacles does not necessarily have to be a karmic partner, okay? Again, I know I keep saying that, but I just want to make sure, all right? Yeah, I don't think we really need to clarify anything. Let's see what's coming up for the feminines. Okay, we have Judgment, we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Sun. Yeah, you know what? I actually think you guys are watching this, if this is resonating, and you're just like, yeah, rolling your eyes at the masculines. Oh gosh. And this is because you really have that discernment within yourself, okay? You know who you are and you're feeling powerful. You have made this decision, and I feel like you are seeing the situation so clearly, and you are seeing yourself clearly, and you're just like, I'm just not dealing with this. You just don't want to deal with this, all right? You really are detaching here with the Eight of Cups and Judgment. I mean, wow. Like, you're just like, no, like, I am done waiting. And that's exactly what being patient is, right? In this case, there's different types of patience. It's just like, if it's meant to be at some point, I'll consider it then. Yeah, I think Oliver agrees. All right, and then here's you in this Knight of Swords energy. I feel like you're doing this rather quickly, moving towards that sun, moving towards your own happiness here, moving towards the light, moving towards that clarity, that truth. Okay, now I am also getting, for some of you, again, there is that grief there, okay? It's okay. Allow yourself to feel the grief, and allow yourself to be like, you know what? I'm allowed to grieve this connection if I want to. If I'm feeling that, I'm allowed to do so. Okay? And if you don't even know what you want, that's okay too. You can say, it's okay if I don't know what I want at this moment. All right, so I feel like those were the messages. Let's just get a couple oracle cards to close this out. If this was resonating for you, and if it was, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. And of course, subscribe if you like my videos. It means a lot to me. All right, let's see. have loyal heart. Yeah. So it's kind of like what I was saying before, that, you know, no matter how much things shift, no matter how much things change, no matter how much you become your own person, and the same for your masculine, that love is always there. No matter what, you could even enter another relationship, that love is still there, all right, between you and your masculine regardless. And I feel like the message here is, yeah, you know, their heart is loyal, and so they are being pushed to move towards this connection with you, all right? But it's just that both sides have to be ready. You have to be ready, they have to be ready. And sometimes it can be the divine feminine that's not ready, all right? Which is a difficult thing to see or admit sometimes, but it could be that. All right, let's get one more from this deck. Reflect and redirect your energy. Wow, this came up recently. I can't remember where. So yeah, reflect on yourself. Reflect on what it is that you are doing with your own self and chasing after your own happiness. And yeah, keep redirecting your energy away from this connection, because that's only going to help you to move forward and move towards that sun. And really, that's all that's important here. Okay, everything else will fall into place regardless, but we do have the sun twice here, and I love that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Much love.